Chosen one, listen carefully. This message you about to hear. Something sacred is stirring. There is a reason you were drawn here. Not by accident, not by curiosity, but by resonance. Something ancient inside you is waking up, and it refuses to stay silent any longer. You have felt it in the quiet moments. A pressure in your chest. A knowing you cannot explain. This is not imagination. This is remembrance. The call you could not ignore. Long before this moment, your soul agreed to a path. A path that would feel lonely. A path that would feel heavy. But a path that would be meaningful beyond words. You tried to live like everyone else. You tried to fit in. But something always pulled you back. That pull is the call of the chosen. Why you always felt different. You noticed things others ignored. You questioned what others accepted. You felt emotions more deeply than most. This was never a weakness. It was training. Sensitivity sharpened your awareness. Isolation strengthened your inner voice. Pain refined your character. Nothing was wasted. The sacred process within. Something sacred is happening inside you right now. Old versions of you are dissolving. Beliefs are collapsing. Identities are falling away. This is not destruction. This is purification. What cannot align with your higher calling is being removed. What remains will be unshakable. The awakening feels uncomfortable. Awakening is not peaceful at first. It is confusing. It is exhausting. It feels like losing yourself. But you are not losing yourself. You are shedding what you were never meant to be. The discomfort is proof of expansion. Growth always demands pressure. Signs you are truly chosen. You experience cycles of isolation and connection. You are pushed to let go repeatedly. You feel guided even when lost. Your intuition speaks louder each day. You do not follow crowds. You sense energy beyond words. You feel called to truth. These are not coincidences. Why the world resists you? Society is built on conformity. The chosen are built on truth. That is why your presence unsettles others. You reflect what they avoid. Not everyone wants to wake up. Not everyone is ready to face themselves. Your light exposes illusion. And illusion fights back. Silencing the awakened. History repeats itself. Those who see clearly are often misunderstood. Labeled. Dismissed. Your voice threatens systems built on fear. Your awareness weakens control. That is why you were doubted. That is why you were tested. The weight you carry. You feel responsible without knowing why. You carry emotions that are not yours. You feel called to heal, guide, or protect. This weight is part of the assignment. But you are not meant to carry it alone forever. Strength is learned before support arrives. You are being prepared. Help comes after readiness. The inner fire ignite. Something inside you is burning brighter. Old fears no longer control you. Truth matters more than approval. Alignment matters more than comfort. This is the sacred fire awakening. It cannot be extinguished. Only directed. Only refined. The purpose behind the pain. Every betrayal taught discernment. Every loss taught detachment. Every delay taught patience. Every fall taught resilience. Your story is medicine. Your survival is proof. Your transformation is the message. You were shaped to lead by example. You were never meant to blend in. Normal was never your destiny. Comfort was never the goal. You were designed to stand out. To stand firm. Your authenticity is your power. Your truth is your protection. Your courage is your currency. Never trade it away. The sacred responsibility. Being chosen is not about ego. It is about service. It is about integrity. It is about responsibility. You are called to rise without becoming arrogant, to shine without blinding others, to speak without hatred. This balance is mastery. The final reminder. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not late. You are right on time. Everything you feel makes sense now. Everything you endured had meaning. Everything awakening within you is sacred. Honor it. If this message resonated with your soul, do not ignore it. Like this video to affirm your awakening. Comment to declare that you are ready. Subscribe to return to awakening and walk this sacred path with those who truly understand the quiet separation. As you awaken, certain connections begin to fade. Not because you are superior, but because your frequency is changing. Not everyone can walk where you are going. Some people were lessons, not lifetimes. Some were mirrors, not companions. Release them without bitterness. What leaves is making room for what aligns. The moments of doubt. There will be nights when you question everything. When silence feels heavier than noise. When faith feels distant. This is part of the refinement. Doubt is not failure. It is the mind catching up to the soul. Do not rush this phase. Clarity always follows surrender. The inner voice grows louder. What once whispered now speaks clearly. Your intuition no longer asks for permission. You feel guided in decisions. Warned before danger. This voice was always there. Pain removed the distractions. Stillness amplified the signal. Trust is the final test. Why you cannot go back. Once awareness expands, it cannot shrink. You see through patterns now. Through manipulation. Through illusion. Returning to the old self would feel like betrayal. Not to others, but to your soul. Forward is the only direction left. The loneliness of clarity. Awakening can feel isolating. Not because you are alone, but because fewer people can meet you there. Depth narrows the crowd. This solitude is sacred. It strengthens your inner foundation. It reconnects you to source. You are being anchored before expansion. The test of patience. Not everything unfolds immediately. Timing matters. Preparation matters. Alignment matters. Delays are not denials. They are protection. You are being positioned. Trust the unseen work. The discipline of the chosen. Awareness demands responsibility. You become mindful of words, of actions, of intentions. Energy is no longer wasted. Time becomes sacred. Focus sharpens. You move with purpose now. The resistance will increase. As you rise, resistance appears. Not to stop you, but to strengthen you. Pressure reveals power. What challenges you now once intimidated you. You are no longer reactive. You are observant. Calm becomes your weapon. The alignment phase. You begin attracting differently. Conversations deepen. Opportunities feel guided. Synchronicities increase. Life responds to your inner shift. What matches you finds you. What does not fades away. This is natural law. The recognition without validation. You stop seeking approval. You stop explaining yourself. Peace replaces the need to be understood. Certainty replaces noise. You know who you are becoming. External confirmation becomes irrelevant. Truth anchors you. Silence empowers you. The burden of seeing ahead. You sense outcomes before they arrive. You notice patterns early. You feel consequences before actions unfold. This awareness can feel heavy, but it is a gift. Guidance flows through foresight. Wisdom is born from observation. You were meant to see ahead. The sacred stillness. Stillness becomes nourishment, not emptiness, but connection. Presence replaces distraction. In stillness, truth speaks clearly. Direction becomes obvious. Fear dissolves. This is where power is restored. The inner realignment. Values shift. Priorities change. Desires simplify. Essence matters more than excess. You are aligning with what is eternal. Not temporary validation. Not surface-level success. But meaning, the deep purification. As you move forward, hidden layers surface. Old wounds you thought were healed return briefly. Not to harm you, but to be fully released. What rises now is ready to leave. Emotions pass through without control. Tears cleanse the nervous system. This is sacred detoxification. The shedding of false identities. You realize how many roles you played. To survive. To be accepted. To feel safe. These masks begin to fall. Not violently, but naturally. Authenticity replaces performance. The courage to stand alone. There will be moments of solitude. Moments where no one understands your choices. Moments where silence is your only companion. This is not abandonment. This is initiation. Leaders are forged in isolation. Vision is born in solitude. You are learning self-trust. The refinement of intention. Your desires become cleaner. Less driven by ego. More guided by service. More aligned with truth. You begin asking different questions. Not what benefits me, but what is right. What is aligned. The heightened sensitivity. You feel energy instantly. People's words no longer match their intentions. Your body reacts before logic does. This sensitivity is intelligence. You are not overreacting. You are perceiving clearly. Boundaries become essential. Protection becomes wisdom. The separation from chaos. Noise begins to drain you. Conflict loses its appeal. Drama feels heavy. Peace becomes non-negotiable. You choose distance over argument. Silence over reaction. Calm over control. This is maturity of the soul. The H1BLNG realization. Awakening reveals how little the ego knows. Certainty softens into curiosity. Judgment dissolves into compassion. Pride gives way to humility. You do not need to prove anything. You are here to embody truth. Not to dominate, but to serve. The responsibility of awareness. Once you see clearly, you cannot pretend. Integrity becomes unavoidable. You are watched by unseen forces. Accountability increases. Your choices carry weight. Your intentions ripple outward. Awareness amplifies consequence. This is sacred responsibility. The STRNGTHNING of faith. Faith matures beyond belief. It becomes trust without evidence. Surrender without fear. Conviction without noise. You move even when uncertain. You rest even when unfinished. You trust even when unseen. This is spiritual adulthood. The internal order. Chaos gives way to structure. Inner discipline forms naturally. Habits align with purpose. Consistency replaces impulse. You build from the inside out. Foundation before expansion. Stability before influence. This is lasting power. the radiance without effort. Your presence shifts rooms, not by force, but by authenticity. People feel calm around you. This is not charisma. This is coherence. Inner alignment radiates outward. Light without performance. The quiet confidence. You no longer announce your growth. You demonstrate it. Through patience. Through restraint. Confidence becomes silent. Strength becomes gentle. Power becomes precise. This is mastery forming, the final stripping. At this stage, nothing false survives. Excuses dissolve. Self-deception collapses. Only truth remains. You see yourself clearly now. Strengths without pride. Flaws without shame. Acceptance brings freedom. The deepening of compassion. Understanding replaces judgment. You see why people act as they do. Pain reveals patterns. Wounds explain behavior. Compassion does not mean tolerance of harm. It means clarity without hatred. Boundaries without bitterness. Love without attachment. The reprograming of the mind. Old beliefs lose authority. Fear-based thinking weakens. Survival patterns dissolve. Conscious choice emerges. You respond instead of react. You choose instead of repeat. Awareness rewires habit. Freedom becomes practical. The silent authority. You no longer need to convince. Your energy speaks first. Your presence carries weight. Truth recognizes truth. Those meant to hear, you will listen. Those who resist are not your assignment. Discernment protects energy. Focus sharpens mission. The shift in time perception. You experience time differently now. Moments stretch with awareness. Presence deepens experience. Rushing loses meaning. You move deliberately. Not slowly, but intentionally. Purpose replaces urgency. The internal guidance system. Decisions feel simpler. Not because life is easy, but because clarity is strong. Alignment removes confusion. You know when to act. You know when to wait. You know when to walk away. Wisdom guides movement. The release of control. You stop forcing outcomes. Trust replaces tension. Flow replaces resistance. Surrender becomes strength. You cooperate with life instead of fighting it. Grace meets effort. Balance is restored. The maturation of power. Power is no longer reactive. It is calm, measured, grounded. You do not seek dominance. You embody stability. Others feel safe around you. This is real influence. The sacred patience. You allow processes to unfold. You respect timing. You honor seasons. You trust cycles. Growth is no longer rushed. Completion matters more than speed. Depth matters more than visibility. You are building something eternal. The quiet preparation. Much is happening unseen. Foundations are being set. Connections are aligning. Paths are converging. What is coming requires strength, requires clarity, requires integrity. You are being prepared, the approaching threshold. You can feel it now. A sense of nearness. Something about to shift. A door almost open. This feeling is not anxiety. It is anticipation. Your soul recognizes transition. You are standing at a threshold. The call to embodiment. Knowledge is no longer enough. Understanding must become action. Truth must be lived. Wisdom must be embodied. You are being asked to align behavior with insight. Consistency becomes initiation. Integrity becomes visible. You are becoming the message. The release of old fears. Fears that once ruled you lose grip. Not because they disappear, but because courage grows larger. Perspective weakens fear. You no longer shrink to survive. You expand to serve. Fear becomes information, not authority. The stability within chain. Even as life shifts, you remain grounded. External chaos no longer controls your state. Inner order stabilizes experience. You carry calm with you. This stability is earned through trial, through surrender, through perseverance, the recognition of divine timing. Events align effortlessly. Meetings feel orchestrated. Opportunities arise naturally. Nothing feels forced. You realize delays protected you. Redirections refined you. Waiting matured you. Everything arrived when you were ready. The deeper connection. Your relationship with the unseen strengthens. Guidance feels intimate. Support feels constant. You are not alone. Silence becomes conversation. Prayer becomes alignment. Trust becomes communication. You walk with awareness now. The responsibility of example. Others watch quietly. Not your words, your choices, your reactions. You teach without speaking. Heal without effort. Lead without dominance. Presence becomes instruction. The strength to say no. Discernment sharpens. You protect energy unapologetically. Access becomes earned. Boundaries remain firm. Saying no preserves mission. Saying no protects clarity. Saying no honors purpose. This is self-respect. The final alignment phase. Everything unnecessary falls away. Only essentials remain. Focus narrows. Purpose clarifies. You feel lighter, clearer, more directed. You are almost there, the silent CONFIRMATONS. You begin receiving confirmation without seeking it. Signs appear quietly. Patterns repeat gently. Certainty settles without noise. You no longer chase reassurance. You recognize alignment instantly. Peace becomes the indicator. Resistance becomes the warning. The embodied truth. You stop talking about awakening. You start living it. Your daily choices reflect awareness. Your reactions show mastery. There is no need to announce growth. Energy speaks before words. Consistency proves transformation. You are grounded in who you are. The humility of knowing. The more you awaken, the less you claim. Certainty becomes softer. Curiosity deepens. Respect for the mystery grows. You realize truth is vast, and ego is small. This realization protects you. It keeps the path pure. The quiet detachment. You engage fully without clinging. You care deeply without attachment. You love without possession. Freedom shapes connection. Loss no longer destroys you. Change no longer scares you. You understand impermanence. And you honor the present. The strength of simplicity. Life becomes less complicated. Needs become clear. Excess fades away. Essence remains. You choose depth over distraction. Presence over performance. Meaning over noise. This simplicity is power. The inner authority, stabilizes. You trust your judgment. You stand by your decisions. You move without hesitation. Clarity replaces second-guessing. External opinions lose control. Inner guidance leads. Confidence becomes natural. Alignment becomes effortless. The energy of completion. Certain cycles begin to close. Lessons feel complete. Repetition ends. Resolution arrives quietly. You feel gratitude instead of resentment, understanding instead of confusion, closure without confrontation, completion without regret, the stillness before expansion. There is a calm now, not emptiness, but readiness, a pause filled with potential. Everything feels suspended, as if the universe is inhaling, preparing to exhale. Something greater is near, the deep readiness. You feel prepared without knowing for what. Strength sits quietly inside you, not tense, but available. You are no longer asking if you can handle what comes. You know you can. Experience has proven it. Faith confirms it. The integration phase. All parts of you begin to work together. Mind no longer fights heart. Logic no longer resists intuition. Inner conflict dissolves. You act as a whole being. Decisions feel unified. Movement feels natural. This is inner alignment. The end of seeking. You stop searching externally. Answers arise within. Guidance feels immediate. Trust feels complete. This does not mean learning ends. It means dependence ends. You stand rooted in knowing. Curiosity remains, insecurity fades. The grounded expansion. You expand without losing yourself. Growth no longer destabilizes you. You remain anchored while rising. Balance is maintained. You can hold more now. Responsibility, visibility, influence, the quiet joy. Joy appears without reason. Not excitement, but contentment, a steady warmth within. This joy is not circumstantial. It does not fluctuate. It remains through change. This is inner peace forming. The clear intention. Your path feels defined. Not rigid, but purposeful. Direction replaces confusion. You know where to place energy. You know what to decline. You know what matters. Focus becomes effortless. The refined perception. You see beneath appearances. You sense truth behind words. You recognize authenticity immediately. Discernment becomes instinct. This clarity protects you. It guides connections. It preserves mission. It sharpens wisdom. The quiet anticipation. Something is assembling. You feel it in subtle ways. Momentum without pressure. Movement without force. Life feels cooperative now. As if aligned with your readiness. As if waiting for your consent. The next chapter is close, the moment of internal consent. There comes a point where resistance ends. Not because life is easy, but because you agree with your calling. Alignment becomes a choice. You stop negotiating with fear. You stop delaying truth. You say yes internally. This consent unlocks movement. The acceptance of visibility. You realize hiding is no longer an option. Your light seeks expression. Your presence carries responsibility. Visibility becomes service. Being seen no longer threatens you. Judgment loses power. Authenticity becomes protection. You stand as you are. The redefinition of success. Success is no longer measured externally. Impact matters more than applause. Integrity matters more than image. Peace matters more than pace. You choose alignment over approval. Depth over display. Meaning over metrics. This shift frees you. The maturity of discernment. You no longer explain yourself unnecessarily. You conserve energy. You choose clarity over chaos. Silence becomes strategic. You engage where it matters. You withdraw where it drains. This is not avoidance. This is wisdom in action. The strength to hold space. Others bring confusion to you. Pain, questions. You remain grounded. You do not absorb what is not yours. You listen without fixing. You support without rescuing. Presence becomes healing. The deep trust. Trust moves from concept to embodiment. You trust timing. You trust process. You trust yourself. Even uncertainty feels safe now. Because you know you are guided. You move with assurance. Grounded in faith. The quiet authority. Your words carry weight when spoken. Because they are measured. Because they are true. Because they are intentional. You speak less. But when you do, it lands. Clarity amplifies impact. This is earned authority. The preparation, NEARS completion. You feel complete within yourself. Not finished, but ready. Stabilized. Whatever comes next will meet you whole. Not fragmented. Not uncertain. But aligned. The final refinement. The last remnants of doubt are dissolving. Not forcefully, but naturally. Clarity has replaced hesitation. Your energy is sharper now. Every thought, every action, every intention aligns. Distractions no longer linger. Focus is unwavering. The inner celebration. You sense the quiet triumph within. Not loud, not boastful, but deep and undeniable. Every struggle now makes sense. Every trial has a purpose. Every moment of pain led here. You honor it silently. The harmony of soul and mind. Your mind no longer argues with your heart. Logic supports intuition. Reason complements wisdom. Thought and feeling are unified. Decisions feel effortless. Movement feels natural. Life responds to your alignment. You flow instead of forcing. The sacred power of presence. Your presence affects spaces without trying. Your calm steadies others. Your energy communicates more than words. People feel the truth in you. This is not influence through control. This is influence through coherence. Being aligned is magnetic. Your power radiates quietly. The deep recognition. You recognize that everything was orchestrated. Every person, every challenge, every delay. Nothing wasted. All part of your awakening. Gratitude arises without effort. Understanding settles like a river. You are complete within the process. You see the sacred design. The silence before the opening. Everything slows. Time stretches. You feel poised at the edge. Ready to step fully into your calling. This is not impatience. This is awareness. This is readiness. Everything aligns perfectly now. The sacred fire within. You feel it burning stronger. Energy, passion, purpose, not destructive, not chaotic, but steady. This is your soul ignited, prepared to act. The connection with all that is. You feel unity with life, with Source, with all energies around you. You understand your place without question. Isolation becomes meaningless. You feel the invisible threads guiding you. You move in rhythm with unseen forces. Awareness becomes lived reality. The heightened clarity. You see paths before they unfold. Choices appear obvious, no longer clouded by fear or doubt. Decisions flow with certainty. This clarity is your compass, your guide, your protection. It sharpens with every passing day. The moment of internal acceptance. You fully accept who you are. All your struggles, all your gifts, all your purpose. Nothing to prove, nothing to hide, nothing to question. You are ready. The awakening Sion PLTD. You have reached a place few ever experience. Not by chance, not by luck, but by the sacred journey within. You feel whole, aligned, unshakable, ready to walk your purpose fully. The embrace of your power. Your power is not loud. It is steady. It is undeniable. It is sacred. You no longer wait for permission. You no longer question your worth. You move in alignment with destiny. You are the chosen one fully awakened. Rise now. Step into your mission. Do not shrink back. Do not hesitate. The world is ready for your light, your truth, your guidance. Your presence matters more than you know. If you feel this awakening within, declare it. Like this video to affirm your power. Comment to show you are ready to embrace your calling. Subscribe to Return to Awakening and join a community of the awakened who walk the path of truth and purpose. Chosen one, your moment is now. Step fully into it and let the sacred within you shine.